Earth's inner engine rumbles, and occasionally it coughs up ash. We're talking about volcanoes. Even though these eruptions can be deadly, they've shaped our planet and helped life as we know it to exist. But that doesn't make them any less dangerous. And even small eruptions can cause major problems like flight cancellations due to ash clouds. So scientists are always looking for ways to predict when a volcano might blow so that people can get out of the danger zone in time. And now researchers think that artificial intelligence could help with this super important mission. Volcano monitoring is hard work because you need to collect lots of data to figure out if an eruption is imminent. Luckily, there are satellites orbiting Earth that can image the surface of the planet every few minutes, and that means scientists have a treasure trove of data at their fingertips. But sifting through all of that data to find meaningful patterns isn't easy. That's where AI could help. A machine learning algorithm can quickly identify features in satellite images that might indicate that an eruption is coming. Then, experts can double-check the AI's predictions and take action if necessary. In a new study, researchers presented a way that AI could spot early signs of volcanic eruptions by analyzing satellite images. They trained their AI on images of Mount Ibu in Indonesia. This volcano had small earthquakes near its summit in the months leading up to an eruption in 2021. And scientists knew that these quakes were linked to magma moving under the mountain. But these quakes were also similar to ones that happened in 2018 and 2020 that didn't lead to an eruption. So, figuring out which rumblings really meant that something explosive was coming required expert knowledge of geology. But the AI learned the difference between these different types of earthquakes. The AI identified one particular type of quake that seemed to signal that an eruption was imminent. These quakes get bigger in the minutes before an eruption, and then abruptly stop as the magma gets released. The AI spotted this kind of quake in images from the 2021 eruption, as well as two smaller eruptions that happened after that. It even spotted them before experts did. Now, since the AI has learned to identify this signature quake, it could theoretically be used to monitor other volcanoes as well. Of course, the AI needs to be trained on new data for each volcano because they all have slightly different behaviors. But once it's trained, it can analyze images much faster than humans can, so it can warn scientists of an impending eruption in time to make a big difference. If it works as well for other volcanoes as it did for Mount Ibu, that is. To do this, the team built a convolutional neural network, or CNN, a type of AI that excels at identifying patterns in images. CNNs are commonly used to identify objects in photos or to classify pictures like cats, dogs, or cars. But this study's CNN was trained to identify seismic signals instead. The neural network took images of the volcano and the surrounding area and classified them based on whether or not they contained earthquake data. Then the AI was trained to spot the telltale signs of an impending eruption in those images. The researchers compared the AI's results to data collected by local experts to see how well it performed. And while it wasn't perfect, it was pretty good. The AI correctly identified 8 out of 9 volcanic earthquakes and 14 out of 16 non-volcanic earthquakes. And when it came to predicting eruptions, the AI was able to flag the right images 89% of the time. In short, the AI is a promising new tool for spotting volcanic eruptions before they happen. But it won't replace scientists anytime soon. There's still some fine-tuning to do. For example, the AI needs to be trained on more volcanoes, and while it flagged most eruptions in its test data, it sometimes gave false positives. That could be because Mount Ibu is unusually active. It's erupted more than 20 times in the past 500 years, and it's currently in a period of high activity. So it may not perform as well at a more dormant volcano. Still, the paper's authors think that their AI could be a useful addition to existing monitoring systems, especially in places without a lot of geological expertise. Right now, Indonesia only has 27 active volcanoes, but the AI could be used elsewhere too. For example, it could help monitor Italy's Mount Vesuvius, which is an active volcano that's also a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Or it could be used to watch over the dangerous but beautiful Piton de la Fournaise on the French island of Réunion. Anywhere that scientists want to keep tabs on volcanic activity, AI could prove useful. And while this technology isn't ready for prime time yet, it's certainly promising. There's no telling what other skills AI will have in the future. Maybe one day robots will help us fight fires too. Wildfires can cause huge problems. Aside from the obvious danger to human lives, they can destroy entire ecosystems and release tons of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. So preventing wildfires or putting them out quickly is super important. And firefighting robots are already working on this problem, but they aren't quite ready for prime time yet. One reason is that they need to be able to communicate with each other in complex environments. In a paper published last year, a group of engineers outlined a system that allows robots to communicate with each other using a graph neural network. This allowed them to share information about the fire, their own location, and their current task so that they could coordinate their efforts. And while this communication system worked well in simulations, the team still has to test it out in real life. But maybe one day soon, robots will be fighting fires all over the world. And it's just one example of how AI is helping us tackle big problems. Another team of engineers has developed a system that uses AI to optimize wind farm efficiency. Wind turbines are great because they don't produce any emissions while they're running, but they do have to be built on land that's often used for farming, so they can disrupt the landscape and the local environment. And that's why it's so important to get the most out of every wind farm we build. Researchers developed a way for wind turbines to use AI to predict the speed and direction of the wind in the space around the turbine. Then they use that prediction to adjust the angle of the turbine blades so that they catch as much wind as possible. And it seems to work. The team reports that their system increased energy production by 5 to 15%. AI is even being used to try and save endangered species. It can help researchers analyze camera trap images to identify animals that are hiding in the background or partially obscured by plants. And this helps conservationists understand how different species are interacting with each other and their environment. And thanks to AI, scientists can use camera traps to learn more about shy animals than ever before. All of these examples show that AI is rapidly changing the world around us. And as it gets better at identifying patterns in data, it's going to change our lives in ways we never imagined. Thanks for watching this episode of SciShow, and thanks especially to our supporters who make it possible for all of us to explore science together. Jana and Jocelyn, we couldn't do what we do here without you. If you would like to join our amazing community of supporters, you can go to our support page.